Hi everybody, this is Madonna from Mad Bees Quilt and Sew. And you know what time it is? It is Monday and it is time for Making It Monday. And it's also the second part of my boyfriend's bag. So we started this last week and I gave you basic cutting instructions. So this bag is made with 2 fat quarters and then 36 inches of webbing. And this is 1-inch wide webbing, so it gives us 18-inch handles on the bag. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to cut the webbing in half because I'm actually making covered straps. So it really doesn't matter what color of webbing you use. Unless you're using a super light fabric, then you might see the color come through it, but more we're giving the handles some good strength to them. So the first strip of fabric that I have here is 2.5 by 18. So that was one of the pieces we cut last week. So it's a 2.5 inch by 18-inch strip, and you actually have 2 of them because we're going to make 2 handles. I am going to fold it right side together, and we call this hot dog way because I'm making a really nice long strip with it. And I'm going to sew at a scant 1/4 inch, meaning I'm going to sew just slightly smaller than a 1/4 inch. So let me go ahead and sew that. And you can back tack on this, but it's not totally necessary because we are going to be sewing it in and out a few places. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a sew here real quick. And just follow my 1/4 inch and just be just inside that line on your machine. And here we go. I hope everybody's having a great day today. The weather's perfect here in Arizona. Although I was just out walking my puppy and it is getting a little warm already and we haven't even hit noon today. So if you come on Saturday, we will have some kits ready for you. I'll be getting those ready on Friday night. We have finished it Friday, so I've got lots of time. And we'll have some kits available. We'll have some little munchies for you. And we do have a list of items for donation. So if there's something that you'd like to help out with, we'd appreciate that. We have already gotten in some really cute little race cars. One of our customers is bringing us plastic silverware. She found that at a great price, so she said she'd bring that in. So take a peek and see if there's something that you can help with. Okay, so I've sewn this strip here. What I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to press it. I'm going to step away for just a minute and I'm going to press it. And I'll show you exactly what I do when I come back, okay? Oh, where's my pressing stick? Oop, I'm making noise here. Okay, so we do have these wood dowel rods here, and I've got a couple here at the store. I'm actually putting my tube of fabric right onto it. I'm putting my fabric right onto it. Sometimes I make it sound like it's so easy, and it always isn't. Okay, and by doing a scant 1/4 inch, it slides on here really nicely. And I'm just gonna press this open.
And these are not dowel rods that we sew, right? Or that we sell. They're just dowel rods that we use.
We use in classes. We use at my house. You can buy these, but if you go to the hardware store to buy one, let me finish here and I'll show you. If you go to the hardware store and buy one, buy a hardwood dowel. Okay, so this is actually an oak dowel, and wood prices have gone up, so these are now like $5 or $6. They're not outrageously expensive, but they have gone up in price. So I've pressed the seam open, and the reason for doing that is it really makes the handle lay really nicely, so you don't feel the seam in it. I pull it off of the dowel, and now I'm actually going to use one of these fast turners. And if you have one of these and you'd like to bring it with you on Saturday, go ahead. I'm going to actually slide this right onto the tube turner.
And that's the size 5 you're
This
using?
is the size 5. And we do carry these in the store also. It slides, this little metal piece slides right in there, and it has a pigtail on the end of it. I use that pigtail to go through the fabric. And it actually goes through and comes out. And I try to do it about a 1/2 inch down from the top of the fabric. And then slowly you have to start pulling this in. And so I already lost it. Sometimes you have to give it a little bit of help when you're putting it through because it likes to get caught up. So I've got it twisted in there, and then I'm just gonna kind of feed that beginning little part through. the hardest part is you have to be careful not to turn this end, because if you turn it, it undoes the pigtail. And it pulls this through so fast. As Patty likes to say, Shazam. So it's all the way through, and then we undo our pigtail. Now we're gonna take this, ooh, that was a weird voice. Now we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it back onto our tube turner. And that'll help us to push that end all the way out. Okay, get in there. It's gonna push that end all the way out so it's nice and clean. I'm going to take my pigtail thing and I'm gonna put it back in there again. So now I've got my little pigtail sticking out. I attach my piece of webbing to it and I put it through there, and again I turn it in. So my pigtail's coming all the way through it. And then I put my fabric around the outside edge of this. And I'll show you a close up in 1 second here once I get it started. Give me half a second here. Okay, so it's over the top of it. It's kind of encapsulating that piece of webbing. And this is the slickest trick. Okay, so I hold it like that. Can you see it, Deanna? Mm-hmm. Okay, and I just slowly pull the webbing right through that tube. And it's really pretty cool the way it works. I mean, it just totally takes that right through it. And then I can play with it to line up my center seam down the center if I want. It's really up to you how much of a perfectionist you are. But man, look at how nice those handles look now. I mean, really, really professional. Okay, I'm not loving that this end is sticking out here, so I can just reach my fingers in there, grab this little end here, and just massage this down just a little bit to get it down a little bit. And that way it's perfectly even inside of there. And look at how nice that is. Really sweet. Okay, so now I have 2 handles completed because I made one before we started. I've got 2 really nice handles. I'm going to line them up on my bag. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So we're making what's called a burrito style pillowcase or a burrito style bag. And if you've watched any YouTube videos, this is not hard to do. It just takes a little bit of practice to do it. So we're going to take our trim piece, which on your pillowcase would be like the neck band. We're going to put it down first. We're going to put our handle right on top of it. So if we find the center of this and we go off 3 inches in either direction, that's a really good measurement for our handles. So I will grab a ruler. I'll pretend like I know what I'm doing today. Okay, so we should be at 18 inches here. Yes, we are. We're at 18 inches. So we need 9 inches would be our center. 1, 2, 3 would be 6. Set that down centered. Put a pin in it. Now, I want you to see where I'm placing this. I'm placing it on the band here, but I'm placing it so that the handle goes towards the rest of the fabric. So it's going to lay on top of it. Okay, so there's my center right there, and we were at the 6. Our 9 was the center. 1, 2, 3 is the 12. We're going to put the other end of this right over here. Now, I will tell you, we are all working as a test dummy right this moment. I can never remember which way to do the handles. So hopefully somebody here today will help me. I think that this is the right way because then that way when it pulls up, but I could be wrong. Oh, I hate when I do these things. It's gonna go up this way. Oh, that's gotta be the wrong way. Okay, so we need to flip it over. There's got to be somebody out there who's really good at these kind of details. I am not. And so I want to make sure I don't twist this. But we'll do this one, and I'm putting the seam side down at this point in time. So I've got the seam side down, which makes sense to me. That way when I pick this up for the bag, it should be correct. We're going to go with that answer. We'll find out in a few minutes, won't we? Okay. So now I'm going to take the whole rest of my piece of fabric here and line up the 18-inch way with the 18-inch way here. Oh, how do I not have 18 inches here? Oh, we cut this down to 15. Mm-hmm. We didn't remember to cut this down. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second to cut this down to 15. Oh, there's a mat up there and a cutter up there. That's right, we went with 15-inch bags. Because otherwise it didn't look so nice. They were funny bags. We don't want funny bags, we want nice bags. So 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Will be our center, and then we'll do 3 inches off of each side of that. I think I know what I was doing some days. Okay. So let's line this up again. There's that. Here's our ruler. So we've got the 7.5 will be our center. We'll go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go right there. We're gonna go with the seam side up. Something we decided, or seam side down. Seam side down, right in the center there. I lost my pins though, Deanna.
Okay, we got more.
Okay.
I'll make sure Maddie doesn't
Okay.
get them.
She's in the other room.
Oh.
Okay, and then we're 7.5. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna be right here. We're gonna put that so it's down, so we're not twisted at all. And I'm not making long straps. I'm making more like handles, because most guys, boys, that kind of stuff are not going to carry it over their shoulder like we carry a handbag. So that's why I decided to do more of a handle. Okay, so now I'm going to take my other piece of fabric. I'm going to put it across the top here. Oh, look at it, matches. Okay, and I'm going to put it across the top. And when I put it across the top here, I'm going to put just a couple pins in. I can reuse these, or I can just grab a couple of other ones. I'm just going to put a quick pin in there. And a quick pin over here. And now here comes the burrito part of it. My puppy is not happy today. Okay, so I've got that there. I'm going to take this whole big piece here. And I could lay out my other one right away, but I don't really want to, because if I do, I can lay it out so I've got it at least in the same configuration. So I know where I've got to go. So I can put this all here and get it all in place. So that way I make sure I do them exactly the same. So I can get this one all lined up also. So face down. Seven and a half. 1, 2, 3 would bring us to 4.5. I've got the pin, the seam side down. I'm going to come smooth this out the other way, and 7.5. 1, 2, 3 is going to bring it right over here, because I want my handles to wind up being the same distance apart. I do want to make sure that they're staying nice and straight up and down. I can see that this one's turning a little bit, so we do want to make sure that they stay straight up and down. We don't want them to have a wonky edge in them. Okay, so now, those are both exactly the same on both ends. That way I don't have to think about it and try to figure it out a second time. I'm going to now take this and I'm going to roll this up into a burrito. But I do also have to make sure that I catch this handle in that burrito, okay? Because I don't want it to get caught in my next seam. So I've got it all a nice tight burrito here. And I'm going to take this outside. I can't really pin that. I could use a little clippy thing, but if we pin it, we won't be able to turn it very easily. Okay, I'm going to take it, I'm going to match all of this up on the outside here. Matchy, 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 matchy. So I want to make sure none of my stuffing gets caught, just my end band here. And I'm going to pin this. And I'm going to put another pin in the center here. Deanna, now does it make sense that it's a burrito?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got my burrito all stuffed, ready to go and sew. I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine, and this is one of those times where I am gonna back tack. So I'm using my same 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna sew forward a couple stitches, and then I'm gonna go backwards a couple, and go forward, and just go all the way down to the other end. Making sure I stay nice and neat, and making sure my handles stay very good and straight in there. We don't want to let those get real wobbly. Question, Deanna? Okay. And a little back tack on the other end. Okay, so here comes the magic of this. And hopefully I did it right. You know what? I am not perfect. So you know what? It is, it's always very humbling when I have to do these videos and they're live, and then we have that oops moment. Okay, so we're just pulling this all through, and you just kind of have a little bit of patience here to get it all through. And this one's not so bad. It's the second one that gets to be a little bit more difficult. And I did it right, Deanna. And you know what? Here's the best part. We recorded it, so we're going to know that I got it right. I even have my handle the right way. So you can see right now, I have got the bag top. I've got my handle, which is awesome. And now I'm just going to go ahead and stitch my handle into place, okay? So what I'd like for you to get done is to give this a try, okay? So try on one side, kind of keep track of what you're doing so that way you know where you're going. I will be back with you tomorrow, Deanna?
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll finish up the third part of this for you. I hope that this gave you enough information today, and that we can play with this a little bit and see, you know, how this works. But the nice thing about this is now all of this inside, there is a right side and a wrong side because we have a handle, but this right side is going to look, the inside is going to look equally as nice, and we're not going to have a lot of raw edges and threads in here making a mess on us. I will go ahead and top stitch this to hold it all in place, but that's what we're going to do for today. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember, this is the place you want to be, and check out day 2 of our summer 6 days of summers. I cannot remember today. Everybody have a great day. Love you all. Bye now.